What's up, everyone? So today I'm doing something different, and it's the first time I'm doing something like this. So let's see how it goes. But I wanted to share something really exciting, something that happened in training. I swam my fastest ever 50-meter freestyle, where I actually broke for the first time 22 seconds. So it's an exciting thing, and I thought I'm going to share it with you. Obviously, it's unofficial, yeah, since it's we stopped with our stopwatch. It wasn't done electronically or anything, but still, it's exciting. And I wanted to share with you some of just break down the race, dissect it, and share maybe some of the things that I did well and some of the things that I could do better. And potentially, maybe this can help you with your swimming journeys to getting some inspiration to get faster in training or just improve technically. I'm not perfect, and I've been doing it for a very long time, but I'm still super excited to see that there is improvement and that you're never too old to get fast. So before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you like it, so you get notified when, hopefully, if you like this, I'll be posting some of these things in the future. So let's dive right in.
Auf die Plätze! Ab!
So before we start dissecting this video, I have to say that this 50-meter freestyle I swam at the end of last season, 2022-2023. So this was right before German Nationals. We were at a training camp in Tenerife doing the last final preparations, and we were training hard, but we were starting to feel snappy and fresh, and hence why that time came out. I then was able to swim officially at Nationals, a huge PB, dropping from a 22.5 season best that I swam in April down to 22.39. So already the 22.5 that I swam in April was a drop of 0.2 of a second, and then I happened to drop another 1/10 of a second. So I was very happy with that result, but you can definitely see that I was on the right path by this 50-meter freestyle that I swam in training. Let's first mention the things that I believe, in my opinion, I did well. Starting off with the start, I can definitely see that I reacted fairly quick, and I was able to enter the water fairly clean. So you can't see much splashes. I think there is room for improvement, but all in all, I think I hit it quite right. Then I took my 8 butterfly kicks underwater that I always do. So how I did that is through repetition. So when we do race pacing training or when we do sprints off the block, I always make sure that I count, especially early in the season, I count my dolphin kicks underwater until it's conditioned so much that I don't have to count anymore. It's automatic. Why 8 kicks? Because those 8 kicks normally, generally, if I have a good start, they bring me out to 15 meters. So that was the goal, to use the 15 meters fully, because I am a fairly good kicker, and I think this is something that I can do well. After the 8 butterfly kicks underwater, I break out at about 14 to 15 meters pretty well. So was able to carry that speed out of the water, and then I start getting into my pace. I think another good thing of this race was that I was able to control my speed in the first 25 meters and hold on to that speed all the way to 35 meters. and then particularly at the end of that race at about 40 to 45 and 50 meters. So if the speed was about up here from a scale, I didn't drop my speed too much at the end of the 50 meters, which was my goal initially. I think another point that I did well was the finish, and also not breathing for the 50 meters. So this is something that I've trained ever since I switched to becoming a sprinter. I don't think I've ever took a breath ever in a 50 meter, no matter the stroke. I even tested for many years not breathing even in backstroke to use and manipulate that buoyancy by filling up the lungs as much as you can, so you can really float nice and high in the water. So this is something that I've practiced regularly in training by doing sets of sprints from the block or from a push of 25s where I don't breathe. These can be swam or underwater or simply sprinting. It's an habit. So it's like the butterfly kicks. You need to practice regularly in training to be consistent with these good habits. And this is something that for me it's easy, and I don't really have to push to breathe. But something that was a more trickier point is nailing the stroke rate and the stroke count. And I think this one was mainly the reason why this 50-meter freestyle was so quick, because I took 35 strokes using the 15 meters underwater, which is really good. It meant that the distance per stroke was really good, the power was coming through, and I wasn't really slipping water throughout this 50. Now, maybe let's move into the things or the points that could have done better. So if we start at the start once again, you can see that when I leave the block, I'm not really shooting high. I'm diving right into the water, which is inhibiting and impacting the length of my dive. And being a smaller, shorter sprinter, I really need to make sure to be at least in as fast as I can in the early parts of the race, so the first 15 to 20 meters. So by entering the water fairly early, yes, I'm reacting fast and I'm able to get going with my underwater kicks. However, I'm not taking the whole power and speed off the block. So this is something that we've been working on this season as feedback from last season from these races. And it's working really well. So I've been doing a lot of video analysis in training where we do simply starts, and we've used some drills to get a little more height, also doing land drills. So we're jumping high. And I've been playing around with the position of my starting position on the block. So this is something that, if you want, I can dive in a little more into details for a future video. Just let me know in the comments if this is something that you would be interested in. Another thing that I could do better is the mobility, particularly the torso mobility, particularly focusing on the left arm. As you can see, I start off in the first 25 meters really well. So I use a straight arm recovery. That means that my arms are straight coming out of the water. And as I come in the water, I keep them fairly fixed, like catching and pulling through and fairly straight. So this I can hold for 50 meters and I can generate power. However, this one is a tricky one to master, and I've done my experiences because, well, first of all, it can be dangerous and it can be very straining on the shoulders, and I've had shoulder pain, so it's not something that I'm promoting. You really need to be careful with this type of technique. And there's also the danger with the straight arm recovery, particularly underwater too, that you might generate a lot of turbulence. Okay, so you're not moving straight on the water, but you're going up and down with each stroke. This creates a lot of drag, and some of the power and speed might get lost. I think in this race I did that okay. However, due to the lack of mobility on this left side, my arm starts to stiff up and it starts to get short towards from 30 meters on. This is when normally I make the move where I try to focus on powerful strokes and really feel that connection with the torso and the hips. So I try to keep those connected and keeping the tempo high. However, by keeping the tempo high, this side is moving and staying consistent in opening, but this side is not really opening. Rather than doing this, I'm doing this, so it's a bit half movement. So I believe that there's so much more potential there, because if I'm able to stabilize these area for growth, I can increase my power, I can transfer more speed in each stroke, and ultimately it will add up to more speed and faster swimming, particularly towards the end of the race. I think the stroke rate was kept, as I said before, fairly good throughout the 50. So normally I aim for 64, not going below 60 for sure. And I think I did that quite well. But this finishes is also something that I've been working on as well this season, because last season they were too sloppy, and I showed that at the German Nationals. And I believe this was also one of the reasons why I got out-touched in the final. So this was a real good wake-up call, and it's something that I've been working on this season consistently, like I was saying before, through repeated good habits in training. So that was it. That was a 21.99 unofficial in the 50-meter freestyle in the long course pool. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure to like it. And if you would like to see some more of these type of videos, maybe some of Luisa's races or some of my races in other strokes, do let us know in the comment section, and we'll be looking forward to hear what you got to say. Apart from that, we wish you all much fun in training, and keep on working hard.